if you hold Bitcoin, if you hold crypto, altcoins, whatever, wait until you see what this chart represents, specifically what is happening right here on the screen. And even more so, watch this video to find out why the timing of this could not be any better for the cycles of crypto. And that's what we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss the on-chain metrics, that chart that we just looked at, but we're going to discuss from even a different angle, different perspective, the timeline of where we are this cycle. So please hit the subscribe, hit the like on your way in. Your support means a ton to me. Let's start the week. Let's cover some data. Obviously, Bitcoin on the daily chart, it's been consolidating. Crypto's been consolidating, even lower lows, lower highs, for around 158 days from this all-time high for Bitcoin. People are getting frustrated. The fear is going crazy. The sentiment is not great. Last week, extreme fear. This week, as we start, fear. 28 on this scale. Here's this chart. Let's start. Sentiment is at levels not seen since $30,000, and it is. It's not looking great. Meanwhile, institutions, whales, and smart money are buying Bitcoin like maniacs. That is a good, like maniacs. This is a good title. Look at this, everybody. Do you see new wallets over 1,000 Bitcoin going absolutely crazy? That's what I'm saying. Like maniacs. They're buying Bitcoin. And I just want to point out something right now before we even dive into the zoomed out Bitcoin chart, the total crypto market cap chart. I just want to say this. Look what is happening on the screen. But even more so, look at when it's happening. This is a fear environment. You always hear buy the fear, sell the greed, right? That's the saying. Look what big money is doing. New wallets over 1,000 Bitcoin. They're buying the fear. There is for sure, if we look at Bitcoin on the daily chart here, people are getting freaked out. This was the all-time high before the Bitcoin halving. People are thinking, so there's some people thinking we're entering a bear market. It's going to get so bad. People are getting just freaked out and they're exiting crypto markets all the while at like this record-breaking pace. Look at these wallets. Look at this accumulation that is happening right now on the screen. And this continues. Bitcoin whales, specifically wallets that hold between 100 and 1,000 Bitcoin, have accumulated 94.7 thousand more coins in the last 6 weeks. So we get a little time frame there, 6 weeks, and then we look at, well, what has Bitcoin been doing? It's been kind of lower lows, lower highs. As price uncertainty has shaken many traders out of crypto, key stakeholders are loading up. What are they getting ready for, everybody? And then there's just this really nice illustration of this. BlackRock is accumulating far more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy, but just look at the acceleration of the two. Look at what is happening right now as we enter a new post-Bitcoin halving. And this is Bitcoin's chart. I wanted to look at this from a couple different perspectives. I know in the short term, there's really not much happening with price. And I think always zooming out in the macro and getting an idea, whether you hold Bitcoin, whether you hold altcoins, doesn't matter, because we're going to look at the total crypto market cap chart. It's a good idea, in my view, and this is what I do. That's all this is. This is my perspective on these markets. This is how I'm seeing things as we start this week. It's just a good idea to zoom out and get different perspectives on this. So I wanted to see, because people are frustrated. People, it seems, and I've said this before, they expect all-time highs right now. They expect parabolic gains right now. And the question I always ask myself is that realistic? Should people be frustrated right now because they're not getting it? And continually, and this won't last much longer, but continually, as of right now, people are kind of being a little too greedy and needy for this to happen. What I mean by this is this. If we go back and we look at previous cycles and we try and get an idea of, okay, from this first all-time high, and we're looking back in 2011 back here, to the next cycle all-time high post-Bitcoin halving. So we go through this bear market, we go through the Bitcoin halving in yellow, continue to all-time high before the next bear market. What was that length of time? Back then, that first cycle, 900, like just around 900 days. And then I did the same thing, and you can just kind of see from that all-time high to the next cycle all-time high of 2017-ish. That was 1,470 days or so. And then from that all-time high to the last all-time high, 1,428 days or so. And then I was like, all right, well, where are we now? Because especially if you look at the last two cycles, 1,400 plus days it was between all-time highs. And right now, if we look at this, since the last Bitcoin all-time high, we are currently right there. And we are currently, if we measure this in days, you think we're 1,400 days? No, we're around 1,000 days. So if we just look at the previous two cycles and we give a kind of a margin of 400 days, we could still have 400 days, if not more, until the next all-time high. That's over a year. And we're going to dig into this even more to get a sense of, well, are we on pace for that? And I just want to mention something. Bitcoin broke all-time high. Bitcoin actually broke all-time high, and it was 854 days. Some people might be like, well, there you go. I mean, that's closer to that first cycle right back here. And then we know what happened when it broke the all-time high. It was a bear market. And I will continually say I completely disagree with that, because this all-time high was broken before the Bitcoin halving, at a time when historically Bitcoin parabolic bull markets haven't even started yet. Crypto bull markets haven't even started yet. I think this velocity of breaking all-time high in a record-breaking way, like it's never done before, that is due to the macro bullishness on Bitcoin and crypto right now. That's what that's a signal of. I don't think that's a signal of a bull market high. That's just, man, Bitcoin got very overextended very quickly, hence why we're right now sitting in this multi-month consolidation that's frustrating a lot of people. It's cooling down. All the while, during that cool down, guess what? Whales are accumulating like crazy. Institutions accumulating like maniacs. And so we go back to this chart, the Bitcoin chart, and I'm like, all right, that's that. Now let's just look at it from a Bitcoin halving perspective. And these purple lines is what that is. It's kind of like, how far from the Bitcoin halving are we? And you could just see, historically speaking, these purple lines from previous cycles line up to where we are this cycle around. And very simply, everybody, go last cycle from all-time high back here to this moment last cycle, where we were last cycle. Bitcoin was down 47%. I'm sure everybody was like, man, we deserve all-time highs now. There's so many people, I'm sure at that time, were like, why are we down 47%? Right now, this cycle, Bitcoin is down 13%, and people are not happy with the trajectory of crypto right now. You go to the 2 cycles ago, from all-time high to this purple line where we are this cycle, that's what it represents, down 41% or so. Look at this. Bitcoin outperforming the previous 2 cycles thus far, and looking incredibly strong when we have record-breaking accumulation by institutions, by whales. And when we start thinking in terms of altcoins and crypto in general, it's the same exact story. The Bitcoin chart is really a roadmap for all of crypto. I say that all of the time. A lot of you are probably sick of me saying that, but it is what it is. And right now, if you look at the total crypto market cap from all-time high, it is down around 30-some%. And this time last cycle, we can see it was down around 55%. Even the total crypto market cap chart, 100% on pace from a time frame perspective, altcoin season. If you're wondering why your favorite altcoins are just down even more than some others, altcoin season historically has not started yet. It will be soon. If we look at it from a historical perspective, that time is getting closer. And we need to really start evaluating that when we enter this time zone of, okay, previous cycles, it started now. We can start asking, why hasn't it started yet? Or maybe it will have started. I don't know. But total crypto market cap, 100% on pace as well. What do you think when the Bitcoin chart completely just releases from the consolidation to the upside? And I know I speak very confidently, like it's definitely going to happen. I always say I don't know. There's definitely a possibility it doesn't, everybody, and we have to prepare for that. But what if it does? What if the cycle repeats? Bitcoin is looking more healthy and strong than the previous 2 cycles at this moment. What if it repeats? What if the institutions and the big money that are just going crazy right now, what if they've been studying these cycles and they see what's about to happen and Bitcoin does repeat and crypto does repeat and crypto does go crazy? That's kind of my question that I just can't stop asking on the macro. And we'll continue tracking this as we wait for this consolidation to play out, as we wait to see what the next move is for Bitcoin, for crypto on these charts. We could go lower. We could go lower on the Bitcoin chart. We could put in a higher low on this macro Bitcoin chart. And it could be very ugly. You think fear looks bad now. If Bitcoin makes a move like that, if total crypto market cap continues to the downside, we're putting in a higher low on this macro, it's still looking macro bullish. And these institutions, the big wallets that are accumulating, they're probably making the right decision. So these are my thoughts as we start the week. We'll continue watching price on the short term. If anything crazy happens, we'll start covering that. But right now, it's just been like the same exact price for quite some time now. So hit the subscribe, everybody, if you're not a subscriber, and please turn notifications on as we continue to track these markets. I appreciate your support. Hit the like if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.